Howdy, everyone. I'm Greg,
And I'm Swag Bastion.
and you're listening to the League Bros podcast. In this podcast, we are going to be going over tackling AFKs, what Riot plans on doing, as well as Vex, the newest champion in League of Legends.
And patch 11.19. Also, the Pentakill event, a new Riot client, and the fact that Worlds is next month. I don't know. I'm not excited about that because I don't keep up with esports, really. I don't keep up with any sports, but if you are excited about it, get excited, you know?
Get ready. Let's go.
Straight into the patch notes. All right. First off, Vex came out, but we'll talk about her later.
Yeah, we'll talk about
Aatrox.
Vex last.
Yes, Vex last. So you play top lane. You talk about Aatrox.
I'll
He
talk
got
about
buffed.
Aatrox. So Aatrox got buffed, and Aatrox is already extremely strong, especially given any sort of lead. He is very strong. It even seems like if he's behind, if he has items, if he has like one item, if he has Black Cleaver, he's ready to go. But his W cooldown has been reduced early game by 6 seconds. So instead of it being 26 seconds, it's gone down to 20, and then it reduces down to 14 by level 6, which is the same it is right now. So they're buffing him in the early game, which is no fun. I mean, maybe he needs a little more power in the early game. They have been buffing other top laners, but he's still an absolute menace to play against.
Yeah. Well, I don't play against many Aatroxes down here in Silver. I'm actually pretty sure I haven't seen one in like multiple months, so I don't really care. Up next, we got a Kali, very small buff. Apparently, they need to buff her. I don't think this champion should be buffed at all. I mean, they already nerfed her a lot. The people that are good with her are still going to play her and smash with her. So her health regen got increased to 9 from 6. I think that says
It
no,
says
from
8.
8. Okay. Increased to 9 from 8. And her health regen growth got increased to 0.9 from 0.5. So it just a little bit of help with people that can like poke her down, I guess.
Right.
But I don't think it's really big enough buff to make an impact. And I haven't played against Akali's either because people down in Silver aren't skilled. So
Wonderful. Moving on. Cho'Gath, slight buff. Q, which already feels like it's on a very low cooldown, is on an even lower cooldown. It's got its cooldown reduced from 7 to 6. I honestly think Cho'Gath is pretty strong in the correct matchups. I also think he's pretty strong in the jungle if you just continue to farm. So there we go. He is probably going to be played more. I don't think this is that crazy of a buff, but hey, Q is up more often. So get ready to see a little bit more Cho'Gath in your games.
true. I honestly don't think Cho'Gath is super good right now. And I don't think this is going to make a big difference just because he can get kited pretty easily, like Nasus, right? His immobility really hurts him.
Wonderful.
And now we're moving on to Fizz.
Fizz, do you want to talk about Fizz, or do you want me to talk about Fizz?
Well, I don't play mid and people don't play Fizz. The thing is that
What?
yeah, if people don't play Fizz down here, and it's like if you don't play against these champions, then you don't really care
Okay,
about
so
any changes.
I'll talk
So-
about Fizz because
Yeah.
because I have I was actually doing with a used to be Fizz main. So these these changes are what I'm understanding nerfs? Question mark? I'm gonna go
No,
back to the top. Oh, there's
it's
supposed
a
to be buffs.
slight buff.
Slight
It's supposed
buff.
to be a small buff.
Okay. So W damage is down. Just straight up down. W damage down from 20 to 10 at level 1 and from 40 to 30 at level 5.
What?
E
20. Oh, 20 to
20 to
10.
10.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, you're
That was a little
trying to
confusing.
confuse me.
Yeah.
E cooldown is now, instead of being 10 seconds at level 5, it is 8 seconds. So a little bit of a buff there, but the R is
Getting a buff
the R is
across
getting a
the
buff,
board.
right, across the board.
Really.
So guppy damage, chopper damage, and gigalon gigalod
Gigalodon.
gigalodon. Whoops,
Gigalodon.
can't say that. Um, all of the AP ratios on these are going up, as well as base damage at later levels. So expect it to whack base damage, or sorry, his passive is now okay. So
Not going to reduce damage from basic attacks.
Right. So he's gonna be a little bit squishier. He's gonna hit a little less hard early, but he's gonna hit a little harder late. Actually, yeah, he will hit a little. Well, at least in the beginning levels, before he has ult. But once he has ult, he's gonna be wrecking people. Okay, moving on to Galio. Do you have any comments about Fizz? I think.
Yeah, I've been playing Galio recently and have not
I just
had
asked
success.
about Fizz, so that was cool. Did you hear me? Hello, am I there?
What?
Okay.
What?
Okay.
Oh,
So
no,
Galio?
I don't have anything to say about Fizz.
Oh, okay, good.
All right, yeah, Galio. I've been playing Galio recently, with not much success. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this buff is gonna do much of anything. He just got his W cooldown now decreases with rank. It used to be 18 seconds at all ranks, and now it goes down to 16 at rank 5.
Right. This is not terribly well. Maybe it is significant. I view Galio as a very good team fighter. He is a very good team fighter. I used to main him, but now I don't think you can build him as tanky. Although maybe you can. I just haven't played him in a very long time, so I think his pick rate is going to go up a little bit off of this. Generally, I think he's actually got a lot of CC. He's pretty good. But again, I don't see him played very much. And like you said, you haven't had very much success with him. Down here in the lower elos, I just don't think he's that good.
Yeah, I think you kind of have to build the AP on him.
Right. In order
succeed.
if he wants to be able to hit at all. Okay, moving on to Gragas. W, Drunken Rage. Bonus magic damage has gone. It's changing. Wait, is it changing? How much is it changing? Okay, so it is changing to. It's getting a buff. It's just getting a buff. Targets maximum health. No, it's getting a buff instead of it being base damage plus 7% of target's maximum health plus 60 plus 60% of your AP. It is now it has a base damage plus 7% of target's maximum health plus 70% of your AP.
Yes,
So
yeah. So the scaling went from 60% AP to 70%
to 70%,
AP.
which
That's it.
yeah.
That's
So this is I think Gragas is pretty strong. This is going to be even better for him as far as damage goes. I think he does a lot of damage. Now he's going to do more. So get ready.
I'm a jam. All right, Gwen. Uh, People haven't really picked Gwen that much, and honestly, I've been playing League that much, but you probably know more. So you go.
Right. Well, to be fair, yeah, Gwen has not shown up in a lot of my games, and I am still continuing to ban Akshan every game. So I was banning Gwen for a little while. She seemed
Hmm.
to. I actually haven't been keeping track of her nerfs buffs, but she's getting a buff for on her health regen. It's going from 7 to 8.5. This is going to allow her to trade a little bit more in lane. I just don't know if she's going to be played more. Uh, yeah, I don't know. It's let me go and look at her win rate right now.
Yeah, she was.
Overall, I think she had a pretty. Well, I don't know if she did have a high win rate. You tell me. Do you know?
Uh, I mean, I just know that a couple patches ago, or like not that long ago, maybe a
Oops.
month, she was smashing everyone. So
Right.
I don't know why people stopped playing her.
Let's see. Well, her win rate is not great. So Gwen win rate is 48.2%. And I'm looking at this right now, and the patch dropped. Did it drop like 2 days ago?
Dropped today.
Oh, it dropped today. Oh, okay, okay. My bad. So
Yeah.
maybe these numbers haven't been updated. Looks like she needs a little bit of a buff
Or I
with
guess
her win
yesterday. It
rate.
dropped yesterday.
Okay. So glad to see it, but I still don't like playing against her, so I hope she's not played. Okay, on to Kennen.
And this is just a pro play nerf. So they just decreased his Q ratio by 5%, and then they decreased his Q base damage by 10 at all ranks.
Wow. Yeah,
And
so
just a pro play nerf.
you
They literally say it right here.
no, okay. Well, why is it just a pro play nerf?
It says Cannon's been on a dramatic rise in pro priority since our changes in 11.15. We're reducing his power by walking back on those changes slightly. So
Okay.
Kennen is honestly not played a lot in like normal play, like normal ranked
Mm-hmm.
play, but in pro play, his ult is very impactful and it's like a game changer if you actually have good team coordination. But obviously, in solo queue, you don't. So,
Very nice. All right. Well, I don't really care about Kennen. Moving on to someone who I actually care about, Mordekaiser. E cooldown is decreased early. This is awesome. Maybe not for people who are not on the Mordekaiser's team, but if you play Mordekaiser, he is a lot of fun, and he's also going to be able to trade more early. E is maxed second, but at this point, I mean, it's still probably worth maxing, but you're getting, I mean, you're waiting 4 less seconds at level 1, and you're maxing Q first, so you're going to be at that level 1 E for a while. 4 less seconds to wait for your E. It's going to be pretty nice. So, and especially if you're building, well, I guess you go what is that? Man, I forgot the name. I forgot the name of this item last time too.
it's
No, no,
not
no. Rift
void.
Maker.
It's
Rift Maker.
Rift Maker. Rift
Man,
Maker.
I'm so dumb. Okay, so he goes Rift Maker anyways, which doesn't. Oh well, it does have 15 ability haste. So I mean, this is great. I would, if you're not playing Mordekaiser right now and you're a top lane or even jungle main, you should pick him up and start playing him because this, this just gives you another excuse. He's already got an awesome I don't know if he's got an awesome win rate. Actually, I was gonna say he's got an awesome win rate. I'd guess his win rate is decent, and his play is so much fun. Anyways, you have anything to say about that? You don't want to see him in your games?
I mean, Mordekaiser is very strong. I just think, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I just am realizing that the people in my games have been playing really bad champions, and
Like
that's why
Zillion?
I don't. No, no, no. Come on, Zillion's good. What the fudge, man?
Okay, okay.
Um, but no, I mean, all these champions, Mordekaiser, who the heck else? Gwen, uh, Fizz. These people literally don't play these champions in my games.
Right.
So maybe that's why I'm winning. So I don't really care about them since I haven't seen them. All
Uh,
right, Poppy.
Poppy.
We got the cooldown on her passive, which is the buckler that she throws out and gets a shield from, has its cooldown decreased by 3 seconds at level 1, 2 seconds at level 7, and 1 second at level 13. Just it's just a buff to keep her shield up more often. Not really a big deal. Honestly, I don't think it's gonna have that much impact. Poppy's seriously just a counter pick, or unless you're like a crazy Poppy main.
Right, which I used to be. All right, moving on to Kiana, which is a champion that I should understand completely, but I don't. So her Q has gotten updated. So
Mm-hmm.
if the target of Kiana's EQ combo is still within Kiana's default attack range, 150 units of Kiana at the end of her E, it will not be dodgeable.
Yeah.
That sounds like a buff to me.
Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean it is a buff. So previously, when you pressed E on someone and then you pressed Q like while she was dashing, it would auto target people, right? And that was kind of broken. I'm not gonna lie. She's like the only champion in the game that has that feature, but they removed that, and now they're kind of adding it back a little
Okay.
bit because it's like Kiana players don't know how to hit skill shots, right?
Oh, roasted. Shucks. Yeah, I actually don't know. You know, that's one of the reasons why I play Mundo, because I can't hit skill shots. So, I get so many chances with the Q.
Yeah.
Apparently, she's also getting a damage bonus damage to monsters. It's going up from 25% to 50. So maybe expect to be seeing more Kiana in the jungle.
Kiana Jungle.
Moving on to Renekton, who, of course, I honestly think Renekton falls off super hard, so he's getting a buff. This is
Uh,
nice.
it's just a pro play thing.
Oh yeah, yeah, you think so?
Like they nerfed him for pro, and then they're like, he's a little too weak. But
Oh, good to
I
know.
honestly think if you build like full pen on Renekton, he can one shot people late game anyway. So
Right, right. Build
I
collector on
don't
him.
think, yeah, or PTA or whatever. I don't think he falls off too hard. He just becomes an assassin late
Okay.
game.
So his base health is going from 575 to 590, and his health growth is it's going up from 87 to 92. You want to talk about his W?
Sure. So his W empowered animation sped up by 13%. So that's pretty good. And the self lockout duration is reduced to 0.375 and it was previously 0.525. So for those of you that don't know, Renekton's W actually like self root like it actually roots him
Right.
while he's like slicing people up, and it kind of feels bad. So that's why they're reducing it. That's why they're reducing the time for it.
Right, because nobody wants to have to use an ability, and it's actually a self root. Like oh, by the way, like here's this ability. It actually roots myself. Like then why do I? Then I now I don't have to play Morgana, or I don't have to play Rise, or whatever. Speaking
Yeah.
of Rise,
Mm-hmm.
Rise got nerfed. Of course, well, Rise, Rise has to have something happen to him, maybe before Worlds.
Before Worlds. Yeah, that's what they're saying.
Okay, so his Q magic damage is going. Let's see. It is changing. Wait, it's actually. Oh, it's getting nerfed. It's the percentage AP is going down from 45 to 40. Everything else is staying the same. So yeah, a nerf on the Q, and the E is the E cooldown is actually increasing by
By
0.25
0.25 seconds at all
0.25
ranks.
seconds. So wow, I mean
Well,
EQ is the bread and butter. The E's on a longer cooldown. That's gonna feel. I know it's only 0.25 seconds, but and I've played
yeah,
Rise a few times before. I think that's gonna be
true.
kind of annoying.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, only pros play Rise. I don't know why exactly. Haven't haven't had that explained to me.
Hey, I play Rise.
Oh, you play Rise. Oh,
Well, I've played him. I've played him before.
okay. I've played him before too.
Anyways,
But
so this must be he must have a high win rate
in pro, yeah.
in pro play. That must be why they're cooling him down a little bit. Moving on to Sejuani.
Yeah. I don't play her, but her cooldown, the cooldown on her Q is decreased by 2 seconds. It's decreased early, so 2 seconds at rank 1, and the damage is increased.
Wait, it's reduced by 2 seconds at
Yeah,
rank one,
reduced by
but
two
ends up
seconds.
being the same as it is right now at the final rank. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And the damage is actually increased by 10.
right.
Looks like 10
The
at all ranks.
base damage, right?
Yeah, base damage
AP
is
ratio
increased by
stays the
10 at all
same.
ranks.
I don't I honestly have not seen Sejuani played. It has been exclusively Amumu and
Pain.
Kane, right? Amumu and Kane, almost exclusively. So, hopefully she's
All right.
played more.
Yeah. So Seraphine, her ult cooldown is decreased by 20 seconds at all ranks.
Okay.
So that's kind of annoying. Seraphine, annoying champion,
Mm-hmm.
and her ult is really game changer. So uh that might that might make her significantly stronger for sure.
Fair.
All right, Scion. W shield increased. It is 10 at all ranks, increased by 10 at all ranks.
Right.
And
Base increase at 10 at all ranks,
yeah, and
and that's it.
the ratios are the same.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
Scion is strong already, I think, but I don't play.
I play him a little bit. I mean, I don't know if he's going to be played at Worlds, but this I don't know how I feel about this. I don't
Yeah.
I don't think I really care.
Yeah,
It
I think he's strong, but like not crazy, you know.
I mean 10 is not like super significant, and you can end up popping his shield fairly easily. So
Yeah.
okay, moving on to
Yeah,
Sona, or unless you have something else to say.
no, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's not the Scion change is not really big.
Okay, what about Sona? So this looks kind
Uh,
of
yeah, so she's getting a nerf.
interesting.
We got base armor reduced by 2, and some bug fixes, which they say they're bug fixes, but they're actually like changes. So her Q power core damage increases. Wait, the wording on this is really freaking weird.
Power core damage increased by.
Okay, basically she got a little bit less damage on her passive, which it's 5 damage, so it's like not a big deal.
Mhm.
And her Q was apparently targeting enemies Sona couldn't see, so like in bushes and stuff. That must have been pretty funny.
Well, that's
And
upsetting for Sona
yeah,
players.
gosh dang, dude.
No longer targets enemies
Yeah,
Sona cannot see.
unplayable. Unplayable.
Right.
And her E's slow no longer bypasses the target's slow reduction effect. So, oh boy. So
Wow.
it was just canceling Swifties. Her E auto that slows you is
Right.
just canceling Swifties. Dang. Well,
Savage. Well,
unfortunate for Sona players.
expect her to
Unfortunate.
not be played as much, but probably not. She'll probably still be played. Okay, so
Yeah, there's
Raka.
some crazy Sona mains out there.
Hopefully this is a nerf, and looks like it is.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's a nerf.
Okay, so her R base heal, um, the
Decreased by
base heal is down by
yeah,
20 at rank
20 at
1
rank 1, 35 at rank 2, and
and
50
50.
at rank 3.
Right, exactly. Thank God. I mean, Soraka is so annoying, and
Yeah, I
this
mean
this
last
helps a little
patch
bit.
I think it was last patch or the
Right.
patch before that.
Removing grievous wounds. Her alt
Yeah.
removes grievous wounds and then heals everyone. She needed a little bit of a nerf.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so moving on to Silas here, we have base mana going from 280 to 310 and base mana regen going from 7 to 8. So I don't know.
That's significant. I think this is a pretty big buff, but supposedly they nerfed him like 2 patches ago.
You know,
I
I
don't really remember that.
yeah, and I think I said this before. He feels very strong to play against, but he feels, at least for me, very weak to play. So
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
how people are doing it, but I'm sure they're going to figure out a way to kick rear end with this guy. And these stat increases are not going to help me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
Okay, moving on to Varus. The cooldown on Q has been increased at
by
later
2
levels
seconds.
by 2 seconds. Interesting. I don't know how that's going to affect the game.
Yeah, it's lethality Varus is like kind of terrorizing people.
Right.
In some elos, not down here. People don't play Varus. Yikes.
Right.
But it should help a little bit. Not really too much, though.
Yes. And so now we're finally on to Vex, who
Wait,
is
wait.
what?
But that okay? There are a few more things.
With?
There's Earth. This patch, Earth.
Okay.
Is
Wait. No, we're not even done with the
a game
champions
mode.
yet.
This-
I'm talking about Vex
Oh.
because she's still a champion, right?
Oh, okay. I guess so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess she
So
is.
Vex,
Dang.
she is a little emo,
Yordle.
a little emo Yordle. She's basically emo Peter Pan. Okay, she's got herself and a shadow,
What?
and she kills people.
Oh, okay.
Right,
I see
right.
what you
Emo
did
Peter
there.
Pan.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean. Okay.
All right.
So her passive is that she will periodically gain Doom, which empowers her next ability to fear enemies, right?
And cancel dashes.
And cancel dashes, which is pretty busted. If you haven't seen the gameplay of Vex, you need to go look at the gameplay of Vex because she question mark
Yes.
is very strong. Okay, so her Q bread and butter. the Q unleashes a wave of mist in a target direction, dealing magic damage to enemies. It passes through and accelerating in speed, though reducing in width after traveling 500 units. So it kind of like cones,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
cones at the end. Her W is emits shockwave around her before the cast time, gaining a shield for 2.5 seconds and dealing magic damage to all nearby enemies. So, the point of Vex is to just scare people. So, fear them.
Yeah.
This is
Scare them with the power of emo.
right. Scare them with the power of Peter Pan. Okay, so her E is she commands Shadow to fly to a target location, increasing the radius of the area as it travels. Upon arrival, Shadow deals magic damage to all nearby enemies and slows them for 2 seconds. So you can see, obviously, she's going to be casting abilities very, very often, and her passive, because her passive works with basic abilities, she's going to be fearing them, and you can set up some crazy stuff that way. If you go and watch the gameplay, it's pretty nuts. Okay, so the ultimate, Shadow Surge. The active. Oh, is there even a passive? Okay, no.
I don't think
there's not
no.
a passive. Okay, Vex commands Shadow to launch itself in the target direction, granting sight of the area along its path for 0.4 seconds. 0.4 seconds each. What? 0.4 seconds and dealing magic damage to all enemies hit. Shadow stops upon colliding with an enemy champion, marking them for 4 seconds and revealing them for the duration. Shadow Surge can be recast while target is marked. So upon recast, you can see here, Vex commands Shadow to pull her towards marked target with displacement immunity upon arrival, consuming the mark and dealing them magic damage. So if the marked target dies within 6 seconds of being hit by Shadow Surge, Vex can cast Shadow Surge again at no additional cost for the next 12 seconds after 0.5 seconds. So you could imagine if you're running a team down, this ultimate is going to be incredible. And like I said, you really, to do it justice, you've got to go watch the gameplay videos. But that's Vex. That's the new emo Peter Pan champion. Get ready to see her in the mid lane, and probably you should get very scared. All right, moving.
She definitely looks pretty strong. Yeah,
she does look strong. So you want to talk about Earth?
Yeah. Okay, we got Earth. I'm not reading this.
You're not reading the rundown.
Yeah, I mean, I can if you want me to. It's just saying they're like, they have a new balancing strategy.
Sure, whatever.
Blah, blah, blah.
Earth returns. You get different gold for different things. Perfect.
Yeah,
okay.
So get it. And
you want to talk about?
We got AFKs.
Clash.
AFK penalties now.
What about Worlds Clash?
Oh, Clash is coming up. If you couldn't tell, I mean, they kind of shove it in your face when.
Well, to be fair,
it's active.
To be fair, I miss it sometimes. So it's Worlds Clash opens on September 27th, which with matches taking place on October 2nd and 3rd. So just be ready. So you don't end up like me, and 5 minutes before lock-in phase, you're scrambling to get people on your team. And they have different places here. Oh, is this going to be like a big? Is this going to be like a big tournament?
I guess so. Yeah.
It looks like there's
I mean, I
there are
think it
rewards for
just means
first place.
first place.
No, no,
Like,
no. Look, I think there are rewards for first place, and then different
yeah, but
rewards
it's
for second
normal.
place
It's
through
normal. It's
seventh.
just a large bracket. It's just a larger
No,
bracket.
I'm saying it's a larger bracket than normal. Or oh, maybe no, it's not. No, it's not.
I mean, it's 16,
No, you're right. You're right.
16.
16. So it's no. So it's 8 on each side. So it's 16. So
Yeah, I
it's
guess so.
8, 4, 2, 1. So that's that. Oh wait, no. 8 teams first, then 4 teams second, then okay. So it's 4 games. It's 4 games, then 2 games, then 1 game. No, so it's still only 3 rounds. Okay, I'm trolling. Okay, okay. I'll talk about AFK penalties now, and then I'll shut up and let you finish us out here. So
All
Riot
right.
is wanting to update these AFK penalties because we all get AFKers in our game and in our games, and they're very annoying. So they are introducing an AFK tier system. So if you AFK often, you are going to get put into one of these tiers, and then you will continue to move up the tiers, which is really you. You are going to be locked out of. You're going to end up being locked out of games ultimately. So it goes from the first 3 tiers are you get like a time delay for queuing for 5 games. So tier 1 is 5 minutes, tier 2 is 10, tier 3 is 15. So at tier 3, you have a 15-minute queue delay for 5 games. So moving on to tiers 4 through 7, this is pretty spicy. You have the 15-minute queue delay for 5 games, but then you get a 24-hour queue lockout for tier 1. You have a 3-day queue lockout for tier 4. You have a 3-day queue lockout for tier 5, and you have a 7-day lockout for tier 6. Get this, a 2-week lockout for tier 7. So if you're really bad, if you AFK a lot, I don't expect anyone to get probably past tier 4 or 5.
True.
You're going to be locked out. You're going to not be able to play games, and I don't know if this like just applies to ranked
I don't.
or if it applies to the whole thing.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know. I actually don't know. Dang.
But
It says for a longer write-up.
okay.
Check the blog.
So if you if you like to play League, don't AFK.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Rule of thumb, don't AFK.
It looks like they're not just talking about ranked.
Let's see.
Looks like it's everything.
Wow. That's brutal. That is brutal.
True. True though.
Well, okay.
I guess you have to AFK a lot though, probably.
Probably. The rest I am gonna do. So I'm gonna do my my solo queue status right now because I gotta run, and I'm gonna let Swag finish out the podcast solo. So my solo queue status, and if you want to do your solo queue status too right now, Swag, you can. My solo queue status is Gold 3, 75 LP. Oh, I was supposed to do my best and worst games, so I'm gonna do those as well, and then you can do yours and then do the news. So my best game recently, I haven't played for like 3 days. My best game was I played a Mordekaiser top and I got MVP according to OP. I put this Alawi in the dirt. I mean, she was terrible. To be fair, she was gold too. So she's terrible. She went 0-7 with 1 assist. She had she actually farmed all right. She did the best farm on her team, but not very hard to do as Alawi. But I had 7.4 CS per minute, and I went 7, 1, and 3. I absolutely crushed lane, and I'm pretty sure they FF'd, because we won the game in 20 minutes 38 seconds. So that was my best game this week, and my worst game. Unfortunately, even though I didn't. Oh, actually, OP is telling me I did the worst. Um, I was 10th. I was ranked 10th as far as the OP score goes. My KDA was 09 and 7. My CS was, I can't even find it. It's so terrible. No, just kidding. My CS was 3.9 per minute. And yes, we lost this game in 25 minutes. I was playing against a set as Tam Kench, and I blame my Amumu jungle. He was terrible. But yeah,
Yeah, blame
so
it on the junglers always.
so
Gosh
the
dang.
right, those are my best and worst games. I honestly was up to gold one, and I was getting close to plat promos. I had been hovering around gold 2.0 LP for a while, and I finally dropped back down to gold 3. So that's unfortunately the how my ranked games have gone, and that will be it for me for this week. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Swag, take it away. Finish out with the news and all of your stuff as well.
All right. Well, this is a little bit unexpected. He's never done this before, and I've never done this before either. But yeah, I'll just continue. So my solo queue status is silver 2, 19 LP. I used to be silver 3 last podcast because I've been winning a lot with Ornn Jungle and also AP Malphite Jungle. So Tank Ornn Jungle and AP Malphite Jungle. And honestly, I haven't played a lot of League, but I played enough to talk about it, I guess. I've mostly been playing Genshin Impact and Splitgate, but let me just go on to my best game, my best and worst games. So I've just been smashing with Malphite, AP Malphite Jungle. It's pretty dumb. You just build Ludens and you go Lucidity Boots, then you go into Cosmic Drive, and then you just build Rabadons after that. And usually after your first two items with a rod, you just one shot carries, and there's like not much counterplay, to be honest. So that's why I've been winning, and it's pretty cheesy. So my worst game was a game where I played Jhin, and the Rengar didn't come to any objectives. We had a Rengar jungle, didn't come to any objectives, and we lost the game off of the Xerath, off of the fed enemy Xerath stealing the Elder Dragon because our Rengar was in topside jungle. So, really annoying, and those games are just really frustrating. I was playing Jhin, I was doing pretty well. So, unfortunate, kind of sucks. Now on to news. So the Pentakill event just happened, and it was pretty fun. There's this service called Wave. They do like virtual concerts, and they're interactive too. They're not like super super interactive, but they're like partially live, and it's basically just like clicking, like you do a lot of clicking. Uh, see which team gets the most amount of clicks and then they win. So get your auto clickers on, everybody. But it's over, so don't do that, actually. And let's see, Nekrit, Tobias Fate, and Tyler One were the most notable people that I know of that watched the stream. And actually, since the event was partly live, there were actors. Well, I guess there was just one actor that said the names. There was an actor that said Tobias Fate's name and Nekrit's name live like during the event, and it was kind of cool. There are clips on the internet floating around. You can probably find them. And that's it for the Pentakill event. Pretty good music, pretty good visuals. What more can you ask for? So on to the next news, the Riot client. There is a Riot client coming out which is going to have all of the games, all of Riot's games in one place. So just think of like Battle.net or Origin Launcher, lol, like Fudge Origin Launcher. Yikes. I just think it's poorly optimized launcher, but whatever. I don't have programming experience, so I don't really have room to talk. But it is coming. It is coming very soon. It is coming October 4th for everyone. And let me just read the description of this real quick. Let me just find it. I thought I had it pulled up, but I guess I don't. Okay, it says it's just going to be an aggregate of all the games. I'm trying to find the thing that they said exactly. It was some good corporate PR talk. Even though all Riot's games will be housed under one Riot client, each game will have its own dedicated landing page with game-specific details and dynamic call to action. Game pages will include cinematic backgrounds, previews of events, and relevant news to you. All while being able to install or patch the game. You can also scroll and explore all Riot games in the game's library. All right. So I think that's all it is. Huh. I thought there was something else, but whatever. Whatever. I think that's probably it. And last piece of news is that Worlds is coming next month. So just go to lolesports.com to watch League of Legends esports. Pretty simple. And I'm not exactly sure when Worlds starts, but I know it's October sometime. October 5th. So after they put the Riot client in. And that's it for me for this podcast. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you're still listening, then you're the real MVP. And League Bros out, even though I'm the only one here. All right. Goodbye. Oh, and have a good one.